Oh, this is really bad. Puff Puff on the scene, American breeze. It's not an American weekend, but we are all Americans and it's the weekend. So coming at you with probably gonna be a long video, a new vlog style documentary, a vlogumentary. I've kind of decided that instead of the short little days, I want to focus more on making longer videos, like documentary style. That's not to say every video from now on will be longer, but my goal is to have long quality documentary style vloggy videos. All I'm trying to say to start the video is that you can expect maybe less videos than normal, but longer and more quality. So take of that what you will. You're all still Puff Daddies. I'm Daddy Puff, Puff Daddy. So it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. It's the last weekend in July and weather looks good finally. And we finally got some rain and the river finally went up in levels a little bit. And we haven't been able to fish it a ton at all this year because we've had a drought pretty much all summer. But again, weather, water, rain, all cooperating. So we were planning on going to the Allegheny for a 2-night mission, leaving tomorrow, Friday, early from work, camping Friday night, fish all day Saturday, camp Saturday night, fish all day Sunday. And then Uncle Canada, that's right, Uncle Canada, got COVID. He has COVID right now. I think he's doing all right, better anyway than how he was feeling the other day based on how he described it. So that really kind of foobarred the plans. I decided I'm gonna go solo. I'm gonna camp solo. So I started gathering stuff, going through fishing tackle, got the one again all loaded, chair, cooler, tent, more tackle, bags, boat stuff. The boat's filthy, by the way. She's only got one bath this year so far, so after 3 days of, or actually it'll be 2 days of river action, she's gonna come home and get a nice bath, well deserved. So I'm gonna head to the local commissary store, AKA Mark's, because that's what it's called.
Get yourself some real milkshake goodness. You're buying, right?
So just gassing up the truck. These talking gas pumps are so annoying. I don't know why the gas pump has to talk to us, but that's kind of been one of the busts about this summer, is that the weather's been absolutely terrible. It hasn't even been that hot. It's been a very mild temperature-wise summer, only like 3 or 4 days in the 90s, but we've had literally zero rain, like the entire month of May, the entire month of June, and then most of July. We had finally a couple storms last week and then a couple storms this week, so things are kind of evening out, but the weather's been killing us really bad, and the gas prices. I've only been out on the boat 5 times, 5 days on the boat, and it's going to be August 1st on Monday. So luckily Saturday and Sunday will equal 2, but 5 times. I mean, I've averaged, I think, 16 times the first year and the second year I've had her. So I probably won't even hit 10 times, well, maybe about 10 times this year. So yeah, financially and the weather, it's just been a down year. It is what it is. If you're from Northeast Ohio, you are very familiar with Mark's. And if you're not, you should come visit Northeast Ohio specifically to go to Mark's. So we have various accoutrements. The ever-present beef and cheese bowl, a Mark's specialty. We got some Italian sausages for lunches and snacks. We got some sausage for breakfast, as well as corned beef hash, which I'll be making for breakfast. And then for dinner on Saturday night, we are having chili mac and cheese. Again, chili mac and cheese. The puppies want some of these meats, don't you? Don't you, puppies? You want some meats? Bubba, want meat? So I did invest a few bucks into a new cooler. It's about time. It's not like you open your cooler every 15 minutes and let the heat out and let the ice melt. Also smart to put it in the shade or underneath the tarp or in a tree well so it's out of the sun all day. But when a cooler won't last 24 hours with the ice in there, like those old Colemans, I mean, when they're 30 some years old, they just don't work well anymore. So double wall insulated, hard to open lid, which you know is nice. Nice seal. And it's got the standard drain and all that. So for 70 bucks for a big cooler that's supposed to be rated for 5 days, I'll take it. It's just after 7. I set my alarm for 7. It's 7 o'clock. I was gonna wake up with the butt crack, ass crack, but I figure I'm gonna do that tomorrow, so I'm going by myself, camping, fishing. I mean, definitely for just me for one night, that's overkill, but oh well. Nice to sit on too, extra tabletop storage. So as I've mentioned in this video and in previous videos, that's why I go so hard on the preparation game in the days before, because now it's Saturday morning. I'm anxious to get on the road, and I'm ready to get on the road in about 20 minutes of work. So all the preparations Wednesday night and Thursday night, and then just getting everything together last night saves me time in the morning. So I just gotta grab the coffee, get a rundown going, and we will be on our way. One for me, one for Jan. Oh, I made it the 2 hours, but I gotta pee so bad. I can't even make it another mile to the river. Well, as soon as I pull up, we got this jackass just parked right at the top of the ramp, so we'll see where he's going. And then you got this guy just turned around right at the turnaround, so I'm gonna have to maneuver myself and back all the way down this. So shout out to that guy for being an asshole. Kind of sucks. This is gonna be a pain in the ass backing down there without being able to just back in and turn around. So I'm gonna get everything prepped per usual and we'll make do. So don't park where you're not supposed to park. There's signs. It's common courtesy that the ramp is like a 270-degree angle almost. So why would you park where there's clearly a turnoff so people can pull straight in, then just back the corner? It's asinine and egregious, and it just shows with all this parking that's here that people just don't care about anyone but themselves. So he's like, I'll just park right here. Mental note, get here earlier than the people that just want to drink. This guy, super Chad. So I just backed, you can't even see the top of this. I backed all the way down around this curve and then had to drop in a little further out than where that kayaker is right now. Normally, you've seen us do it. We pull down here forward, pull right into here and stage. And in case you can't tell, it says no parking there, which is why we never park there. And then we just back right down in here. This asshole just decided, oh, hey, I'm gonna do that. Not only that, but he turned completely around. So when he's going to leave, he has the easiest access of all time. So I was gonna leave him a note, but I'm not even gonna bother because he would just laugh at that and think I'm the asshole. So moral of the story is don't be like this guy. If Uncle Canada was here, he'd be flipping a bitch too. Still not bad. Solid 2-hour drive. 20 minutes to prep because there was people, but got her done solo. Haven't ran the boat since second or third weekend in June, so it's been almost almost 6 full weeks. Gonna let her warm up a bit, then send it upriver. Going through rapids, you know there's going to be rocks and obstacles. You can see them, but you got to know how to read the water. Those are rocks, but they're not boiling on the top. That means those are deep enough to go over with a jet. Right here, follow the water, follow the V. It's always going to be the deepest channel. You see the current line going here with a little bit of my wake right here and right here. So you send it up the middle of that or down the middle of that. So here we are. We've camped here once before. Water was a lot higher, but there's this shoal up here. All right, well, we're here. Nice little eddy to park the boat in. Welcome to Cock Island. Oh man, this water's like a bathtub over here. That motor took a beating coming up. It was real shallow. That's the hardest the motor's ever been pushed. I'm taking her in for full service at the end of this season, but man, oh man. So let's grab a load and camp's right up in here. We've seen people camped here a couple times in all the years we've come up here. We have camped here once as well, like I said. Super nice campsite. Close to the honey holes. Secluded. I mean, that's my view. So this is an island. And here we are. Good old Cock Island. Oh, looks like a tree came down since last year. All right, well, that was not very thrilling. Whew. Really shallow. We knocked the motor a couple times, which is fine. I had it propped up as much as I possibly could. But some gravel and sand and crap definitely got sucked up in the impeller. Over time, the impeller wears down, or so I guess the gap gets bigger. So it's definitely a part you're going to want to replace, I mean, as often as necessary. Some people buy $100,000 bass boats and only use them 3 or 4 times a year. I spent 20-ish on a bass boat, brand new, and I've used it, almost 40 days so far in less than 3 years. So let's look at camp. So here we are, beautiful Cock Island. We call it Cock Island because last year when we first camped here, there was a statue of a rooster, aka a cock, right in here. I was actually hoping it'd still be here because I picked it up and I shoved it in the vajayjay of this tree, hoping that the tree would kind of grow around the cock, but not so much. So there's a few other tent sites further this way, but this is kind of the main area. So here's the path down to the beach. The boat's right there. I'll obviously anchor it up to shore tonight real well. It's not going anywhere anyway though. Got a nice fire ring here. I don't think I'm gonna have a fire. There's enough wood to maybe start one, I'll see. And then we got decent tent sites. Nice tent site there. I'll probably set my tent up over here in this shade area. Probably do the kitchen area over here. Nice bench to sit on. So this is an island. It's probably like almost, it's at least half a mile long. Comes to a point up here. Gets a little wider up that way, then comes to a point again. And then there is this back section of the river that comes through. All right, so I hope you can see that pretty clearly. So when the river's really shallow, this is the crap you risk. I don't want to get all soaking wet yet, but this blade up in here, it's hard to tell because of the water reflecting, but this pinhead right here, it's basically a prop, but it's an impeller. It sucks the water up. This grate is protecting. But look at all, I'm trying to get in the shadow so you can see better. Look at all these rocks that got sucked up in here. And they got sucked up in there good. That's why you have to know what you're doing, where you're going. We know this river very well, but even when it's shallow like this, it's not the same river. And when it's flooded or high, it's not the same river. So knowing exactly where you're going and what's out there is only half the battle. You need a jet. If you're gonna run shallow, get a jet. Simple, save your props, all that other stuff. So I've got it out. I'm pulling it out. I stopped it here so you could see, but look at how big that is. And yeah, you could see this hit my impeller several times as it was in there. Look at that. You don't want that at all. Let this be your reminder. This isn't the first time stuff's gotten sucked up there. Definitely not the last. I'm only about calf deep in the water, and man, it's beautiful out right now. Absolutely beautiful. This is probably, if not the nicest day of the year so far, weather-wise. No way. All right, well, I was bringing the Wanigan up to start the kitchen area, and I noticed it, and here's the cock. And she's still here. Somehow she got dislodged from the tree and ended up right there. Cock Island. Uncle Canada's gonna be stoked. So we're putting her back in her, which tree was she in? I think she was right in here. Putting her back in her rightful place. All right, cue the time lapse of me setting up my tent. And this little guy, it's super cool looking. Looks like dice. We've got the kitchen area all set up and ready to go. I did gather a little bit of firewood. There's firewood all around here, actually. Normally when we've come here, haven't seen much at all. In my book, the best way to do things is to always just get prepared as much as possible and then get all the hard stuff out of the way. When we come back to cook or come back to want to lay down or relax or take a nap, which I'm not going to do, we don't have to do anything. The minute we arrive, we do all the work before we go have fun. And now I can go have fun. So delicious. So with beef and cheese, there is a rule of thumb. You always try to find the package with the best ratio of beef to cheese, but there's always at least a 2-to-1 cheese to beef ratio. Meaning you have to have at least, this is a rule, you have to follow this, not just with me, with anyone, or at a party with a tray of whatever. You have to have at least 2, if not 3 pieces of cheese for every 1 piece of beef, so that way there's not a surplus of cheese left over at the end. So we got, it's my second piece of cheese. 3. Oh my God. And then 4th piece with the first piece of beef. So right now I'm at a 4-to-1 cheese to beef ratio, and I'm only getting started. Oh! I wasn't gonna finish this video because I'm severely frustrated and upset right now. Scale of 1 to 10, like a 70. The motor's broken down. It would not start. I'm at the very end of the island. Camp is up there in that shade right here. The motor wouldn't start. I've been sitting here for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. The motor's not flooded. I know it's not. It's just not starting at all. And then I got it to start, let it run for about 5-7 minutes, and then shut it off to see if it would start again, and it's not starting again. I just drove 2 hours here. I spent over $100 on food, gas, gear, all that. I haven't even taken one cast yet. Luckily, I'm still at the island. I now have to walk probably 75 yards, 3 or 4 trips, take down my tent, take down the cooler, all that stuff. I'm gonna load the boat and go home. I'm just gonna have to load the boat, then push off and float downriver. Luckily, I have the Minn Kota that'll help me get there faster. This is a bad situation. I just need to get out of here. There's too many shallow rapids on the way I'm not going to be able to control with the Minn Kota, so I'm going to have to really, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. This is a bad situation. Not only am I extremely frustrated that the boat is not running, but now I have to somehow navigate my way downriver without a primary motor. This is really bad. She won't start. I got her beached right here, it's fine. She won't start. I don't know what else to do. It'll start and then it'll kick on and it'll just die. It'll do that once every 4 or 5 clicks. That's it. Well, luckily I didn't get far enough away from the island. I'm gonna have to go walk all the way up there, take down my tent, make 3 trips down here with the 50-pound cooler and the 50-pound Wanigan full of stuff. Even if it started up now and ran, I would not go upstream or anywhere. I'm not abandoning all my expensive gear on this island. I'm gonna go This is absolutely terrible. I'm making this video, I guess. You want to see something real? Well, this really fucking sucks. Boat breaks down on the Allegheny River. I don't know, I need a minute here. I just have to do it now. I can't stay here for the night and pretend like everything's fine when it's not. And then tomorrow wake up. I can't stay. Even if the boat was right here, that's different. I have to drag everything down. I can't anchor up the boat down there and feel confident in it all night. I have to get all the way back to Emlenton, make sure the Minn Kota battery doesn't die on the way down river, and somehow get it on the trailer without the motor. I mean, I can crank it on, but I don't know, this is really, really bad. If I stay the night, I'm just going to be fishing this shoreline, which I can do and have fun and then cook and sleep and wake up. But then tomorrow, I'm facing the same problems as today. I would rather honestly I'd rather just pack up and go. All right, let me take a second and just calm down. So the motor's broken down. Something's wrong with the boat. I don't know what it is. It's not starting. So we know that to be fact. I got in a couple spots, hit some rocks, which is fine. Shut the motor off, floated, started it up. Some debris got in the impeller, which I cleared out. That's fine. It's not starting now. I'm assuming I'm closer to killing the entire battery than not, just based on the amount of time I spent cranking it. It did start again one time after 10 minutes of cranking. I let it run for about 7 minutes, hoping that if I shut it off, it would restart, which it did not. So there's that. I'm here, everything's set up, but the boat is jacked up. I can't stay here without a reliable watercraft to get home. It's either I pack up right now, load the boat, and just float down to Emlenton. I'll be there sometime this afternoon, and I'll be home early this evening sometime, and I can just take the boat in tomorrow or Monday. I think that's my only option. The other option is to stay here. I still have to take all my stuff down to the boat tomorrow. I have to go get all my fishing gear out of the boat and just live off the shore fishing wise. I just have to go. I'm gonna pack up. I'm not gonna film any of this. It's gonna take 3 trips. It's gonna take me an hour. Walk all the stuff down to the boat, load it up, and then we'll just start floating down to Emlenton. All right, well, it's running at the moment. I'm gonna let it run for like 5 minutes. So I checked the spark plugs. I checked the fuel tank. I'm gonna let it run for 5 minutes and see what happens. And we'll see what happens. I tried. I did 4 or 5 different things. It would last. Then I turned it off, it wouldn't start. And then I took it out and ran upstream about 100 yards. Then it wouldn't start on my flow back down, so I literally had to walk it down the shore. I'm back at camp. Already got the cooler in here. Camp's literally right here. I'm gonna leave it running while I'm beached right here. I'm gonna load up and just try and keep this motor running enough to get me back to town, and I just gotta take her in. I can't say definitively if it was the spark plugs, because it worked on and off when I did that. I can't say if it was something with fuel pressure or the fuel lines, because it definitely was not flooded. But then when I took off the gas cap, apparently there can be a clog in the hole, the air pressurized hole in your gas cap, but I did that. It's just nothing is consistently keeping it going. I have it started now. The last thing I want to do is float 4.5 hours down to the ramp, when if it's running enough to at least get me there, we'll take 15 minutes. So she's beached. I just gotta take it in, wrap it up. So I'm gonna go take down my tent really fast, just throw all this crap in the boat. Once I get to Emlenton, we'll just trailer her up and send it home, and I'll just take her in because I have no choice. Tent's down. Just got to pack up the boat now. This trip and one more and I'm out of here. What a waste. It happens, I guess. I guess you don't know your boat's not going to work on the water till it's on the water. Last trip. Just got to grab the one again and I'm out of here. I'm really upset. I kept getting my hopes up. Uncle Canada, thanks for helping me remotely. A couple things that I could have tried and I did, and they worked for 5 minutes, then didn't. Something's just not right. I don't know. Even if it started working right now perfectly, I'm spent. Absolutely spent. At least I didn't end up away from the island and all my stuff is here, because then I would have had to float to Emlenton and have no choice. What am I gonna? I guess I could ask somebody for a ride up here in their boat, but there's no way. My stuff would have been abandoned here, and I would have showed up when I get the. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know. It is what it is. It happens. I'm gonna make this video. This is real life. This is vlogging. I mean, there's plenty of videos I didn't make where we didn't catch any fish. Still probably good videos to make. I just never made them. This is a day where the boat breaks down. It happens. It happens. It is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. As I'm leaving, I'm bringing the Wanigan up to the boat on shore, and I see a chick walking up towards me. I'm like, hey, blah, 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 how'd you get here? Turns out her and her dad had just pulled up in a canoe. They're floating from Franklin down to Emlenton. It's a nice 2-day. You could make it 3 days, but a nice 2 to 3 day float. And they're like, we were just checking out this island to see if there's a good campsite. We've never done this before. I'm like, told her the story. The dad came up. Yeah, no shit. The motor trouble. I'd get out of here too. The motor is still running. I'm just trying to float out the last of this super shallow area before I try and gun it back down to Emlenton. And I'm just going to trailer her up and go home. At least I'm able to run down to town, and I'll be able to pull it up onto the ramp and just crank it onto the trailer in case it won't start. I'm probably just going to do that anyway. Sucks. It happens, I guess. Oh my God, I might be blocked in. I will literally freak out. I might not be able to pull out. I might not be able to pull out. I just had a heart attack there, but I should be able to pull forward or back. It's just a little more tight than I would like. And naturally, I got here, beached it, and it won't start again. So it's safe to say this is the worst day of my boating career. This boat took an absolute thrashing of epic proportions. Not even by my own doing, but between the motor and then having to get stuck in the shallows and all that. I suppose I'm just grateful that it's only about 3 o'clock and I have the boat on the trailer ready to go home. Once again, the motor would not start again once I got back down here. There was no point to even try to fish. If I stayed at the island and just fished from the shore, I mean, I maybe could have caught some and had a good time, cooked some food, did all that, but the overall anxiety and energy and time I spent just trying to stabilize the situation took everything I had. What a day. At least I made it back and she's on the trailer. So let me pack up and get the hell out of here in a big way. So we made it back home, and I guarantee you I'm gonna put the key in, I'm gonna start it, and it's gonna start first crank. I guarantee it, because that's just how it would work. Okay, so the key's in, power's on. The gas tank is not showing that it's full whatsoever, but let's see what happens. I don't know. So I made it home safely, officially, and now the boat is starting up. 3 cranks in a row, first try and running. Obviously I can't run it long because it's not in the water. Today's July 30th. They can't get me in for an appointment until August 11th, so 2 weeks till I can get her in. They said it'll be a few days until they can look at it once it's in, and then we'll go from there. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm just gonna clean her out, clean her up good, take her in. We'll see what they say. I'm gonna end the video right now. Also, oh, you scared me. Hi, buddy. I didn't know Mama let you out. Hi. So I'm home, gonna clean up. So thanks for watching, and we'll see what happens. So puff, puff. Could be worse. Out.